To be honest, I'm not sure I would have thought to apply for the artistic director position at Black Theatre Workshop, except I heard that someone whispered in my ear that the company was interested in some of the community-based work and in incorporating community-engaged programming, I later understood, into the season of the company, of the professional company. And since that is my particular passion and interest, I thought I would throw my hat in. And after 2 grueling 2-hour interviews, I was offered and accepted the position. It was challenging to begin because I began and we had news that the company had lost its operational status with one of the funders. That was challenging for sure. And that actually continued throughout, my tenure as artistic director, with that particular funder, we did not have operational status. But at the same time, I feel like I was with the company at a time when there was a real commitment to making both the company and the work grow in really interesting ways. And I feel I was really lucky to have been part of that, I guess. And in terms of the successes of the shows, they were, in all non-humility, I think we did really good work. The company's continuing to do really great work. Wade in the Water by George Boyd and directed by Richard Donat went on to have another life at another company's season. It was really great that although it was after I'd left that Vadney Haynes' play, Blacks Don't Bowl, was actually a world premiere and ended up being such a successful run because Vadney, the playwright, it's a wonderful play, and Vadney worked on it really hard for a really long time, so it was very gratifying to see that be such a success. And in terms of successes, I also would mention I'm very proud of the community-based programming that we did incorporate into the company, which included some audience participatory events, the audience being able to participate in reflecting on the work, both during the run and afterwards, and commissioning visual artists to be part of that. We did a touring show called Sea Change, which went to the different Maisons de la Culture and involved a lot of artists as primary creators. Then the final show, when I was actually no longer technically artistic director of the company, but we finally managed to do the large-scale community performance project, Shifting Ground, which was co-written and co-directed by Aline Tumba and Chimamwe Miller. And that was a really wonderful experience to be able to finish that way. It was a piece that involved, I think we had 67 people in the cast altogether, some with some performance experience, most with very little, and yet they worked really hard, and Ali and Chimamwe worked really hard on people with their acting skills. And personally, that's the kind of theater that I really connect with, as a theater where people are doing it for the love and the passion of it, and that people feel a direct connection to the material that they're performing. And I really felt that was a great way to finish my tenure at BTW. The move to Jean Mance Street was also really important in terms of, I think, the artistic possibilities that it opened up for the company, certainly in terms of relationships, and especially with the May, Montréal Arts Interculturel, in the same building. During my time, the company, we produced all of the work, presented by the May in collaboration with the May. And when Sylvie Lachance was the artistic director, it felt a lot more like a collaboration than it did a business arrangement only. It felt a lot more like an artistic collaboration. And I think the presence here in this part of Montreal was important to be able to expand the audience. It was BTW had presented work here before, but also in other places, and it was never necessarily the same place every year where the Black Theatre Workshop show would be produced. And I think by being in this building and being able to produce the work here over an extended period of time, that we were also able to develop stronger, longer-term relationships with audience who were, some of them, fairly new to coming to Black Theatre Workshop. I was able to work with some really, really wonderful artists during the time I was with Black Theatre Workshop. And I'm really grateful to many of those people, Janet Sears and Alison Seeley-Smith, Audrey Zena Mandela, Dubai Young, Naila, Kaleta May, at that time, Naila Balvet. And one of the things I feel so grateful for in working with these artists is that I know it was odd when I began. It was odd for some people that this white woman had been hired as the artistic director of Black Theatre Workshop. And I know because people told me that it was kind of like, well, what's going on there? What's happening in Montreal? And I am really, really grateful for the gift that they gave me of their trust and of looking at what the actual programming of the company was. That's kind of on a personal level. Then, of course, on an artistic level, these are, really amazing artists who have established careers that I probably wouldn't have had a chance to work with otherwise. It was really great.